Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we have missing Julie Shawn Stefanek from Cherry Hills Village, Colorado. She was only 26 years old, 5'9", 140 pounds. She went missing February 26, 1989. And it says she's missing from Colorado, but then it says she was last seen leaving the ship in Jamaica. So she was is that a cruise ship? 6:30 a.m. Her clothing and eyeglasses were found on the beach. And so strawberry blonde hair, blue eyes. Eyeglasses were always worn, but they were found on the beach. Here's a picture of her. And this is a CBI. And it says the same thing. And another one says she was last seen in her room on the ship, so I don't know. So then I hear this, and the first thing I think of, do you remember this case? Disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley. She was on a cruise ship. She went missing during a Caribbean cruise, March 1998, en route to Caracal, right? And where did she go missing from? Jamaica. Okay, so her whereabouts remain unknown until this day. 23 years old. She was 26. And this talks about her and her brother headed to the ship's nightclub to go dancing. The ship's door lock records show that Brad had entered his cabin around 3:35 a.m. and Amy soon followed 5 minutes later. Her father awoke around 6 a.m. to check on his daughter, only to find her missing from the balcony she had slept on earlier. When authorities were alerted that she was missing, they conducted a 4-day search in the surrounding waters. There have been possible sightings of her. In 1998, a tourist saw a woman that resembled her on a beach. In 1998, a member of the U.S. Navy claimed a woman in a brothel told them that she was Bradley and asked him for help. And the years following her disappearance, some new evidence would arise, leading to theories including that she was being sold into human trafficking. And so somebody took her and kidnapped her and sold her into sex trafficking. And it's possible that they worked on the cruise ship that took her. And so it talks about different, you can find this online. So this talks about her early life and her education. And she had strong swimming abilities. She had a full-time job at Chris Steakhouse. It was planning to start a new job in computer consulting. She had graduated with a degree in physical education. And then it said, I guess her father, one and all expenses paid family cruise from his employer, and her family decided to join him. And so this says she was afraid of heights and was apprehensive about the cruise due to the size of the ship and being on the ocean. And it was exciting for them to go on the trip, it says. And you can read the different things. I'm just skimming through this. And it talks about them staying up late and going dancing. One of the band's members was drinking with her that night and claimed they left the party about 1 a.m. Videographer Chris Fenwick captured a moment when Bradley and Douglas were dancing. After a couple hours, Brad decided to rest for the remainder of the night. The ship's computerized door lock system recorded that Brad returned, and Amy followed 5 minutes later. He and his sister sat on the balcony and talked before he went to sleep. And she stayed awake for a while longer before she fell asleep shortly after. That was another thing that talked like maybe she had been drugged or something before they took her. I don't know. This talk about Ron awoke to check on his children and told local newspapers, I could see Amy's legs from her hips down. I dozed back off to sleep. The balcony door was closed because if it hadn't been closed, I would have gotten up to close it. When we got up at 6 a.m., she was missing. So somebody got in through the door that was closed. Her cigarettes and her lighter were missing. On the morning, 3 witnesses claimed to have seen her on the upper deck with Alistair Douglas between 5:30 a.m. and 5:45 in possession of a camera. They testified to seeing Douglas hand Bradley a drink containing a dark liquid. They claimed Bradley and Douglas arrived in the elevator at the same time and that Douglas was then seen leaving the upper deck alone shortly after 6 a.m. And there's a lot of information here. I'm not going to read it all, but it just reminded me of this case, which is just absolutely horrific to me. And I'll scroll down some of it, but August 1998, 2 Canadian divers had a possible sighting of her on a diving beach. David Carmichael, the diver who testified for the federal grand jury, claimed that a woman matching her description was in the presence of 2 aggressive men, one reportedly fitting Douglas' description. The witness yelled out to the friend, asking if he had a piece of his dive gear. The woman, believed to be Bradley, upon hearing the man speak English, reportedly spun around and came back towards him. The witness then claimed that the man resembling Douglas came into his field of vision and motioned the woman away to the beach's bar. Carmichael claims the woman would occasionally look at him and then look down, appearing to try subtly to communicate with him. The witness accurately described Bradley's tattoos as well as the watch she had been given by her boyfriend. Carmichael recognized her after seeing her photo on America's Most Wanted and stated, "I am haunted by the encounter with Amy. I know it was her." He later phoned Bradley's father and flew to Virginia to meet them. And the FBI investigated the reported sighting but were unable to corroborate the claims. And then it talks about a U.S. Navy petty officer that mentioned that he saw her later, but not at the time that he saw her, but later on. It talks about 1999. Parents received an email from a Navy SEAL soldier. Frank told the family that he was a foreman. Oh, maybe that's the one that was later. But I don't want to read all of this. But it's just horrific because she reached out and tried to get help and couldn't get help. She could not get help. It's like nobody would help her. Like, she reached out to a few people. There were photographs observed. They've got photographs. The woman in the photo appeared to be distraught and despondent and was a sex worker. And so there's sightings of her. There's different sightings of her, and nobody ever saved her. We don't know what happened to her or anything like that. It's just a horrific life that it sounds like that she went through. So it's just really sad. And there's a missing persons. And there's other photos of her. I think it wasn't it on this page. Oh, it's not on this page. Wow, I'm surprised. It's just so sad. So when I read that other one about that girl going missing on that cruise, it reminded me of her. And here's some photos. There's one. This one right here. There's that picture. Like she has long hair. Yeah. I don't know if it's her or not, but so. And that's what when I saw that she went missing from a cruise, and I don't know if she could have drowned or something else could have happened to her. And so she went missing in 1989, and Amy Bradley went missing in 1998. So I don't know. Because I do know they had sex trafficking and sex workers and things like that on the island that she went missing from. So I just, if you have any information about her, please contact authorities and let them know. Don't forget to pray for her family and her loved ones. Feel free to leave comments and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.